Welcome to Music Gear Talk. Discover the music tech that powers the biz with your host, Rodney Elliott.
Hey everyone, this is Rodney Elliott with Music Gear Talk. Super excited to have Dan Tucker here with us today from Tucker Guitars. Just want to thank our sponsors, Pitbull Audio and SIR Music Rentals. Daniel, super stoked having you here on our show. Looking forward to hearing about all your products you got going on.
Glad
Thanks,
to be here.
Thanks for being here.
No problem.
So just starting right out, how did you get started in this business?
In building guitars or
woodworking?
Yeah. I think it all started when I was a kid, woodworking with my father. He taught us how to build things in the garage, and that's what we did. Anything from scooters to dressers to, furniture, all that good stuff. So,
and was it something that, you started off on guitar and you always wanted to make guitars, or was that something that just kind of spawned as you started wanting to make a better product than the one that you were playing?
I think it kind of evolved. When I was younger, my dad was really into electronics, so he had me building and circuit boards and ham radios, things like that when I was a kid. So I learned how to solder and do electronics work at a very young age. And I think my first work with guitars really was on the electronic side. Even when I was 15 years old, I had a problem with the input jack on my Fender Bullet, and I fixed it. I took it apart and fixed it, and I had it apart, and I realized, there's not much in here, right?
Right? This is kind of hollow. There's not much going on.
There's not much going on in here, It's just.
But I could make it better, and I can make these connections better. Exactly.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I started working on guitars. I was about 15 when I started. Then my friends would, I played in bands, and every time one of the guitars broke in the band or someone was bad, of course they asked me to fix it. I fixed.
We'll give it to Dan. He'll fix it.
I fixed guitar amps. I fixed all kinds of stuff. So that's kind of how it got started, and then. I'd say about 15 years ago, I started building guitars, from other people's parts, using like Fender parts and, anything I could find on the internet and buying those and building them and selling them. And then I just decided that one day, I think it's kind of like you said, I kind of felt like, I didn't feel like the quality of product coming from the big wigs were up to par. And I thought, well, can I do better? Obviously it's hard to compete with those guys. They got so much money. They got so much manufacturing, the big ones. But what they don't have is they in my opinion, they've lost their attention to detail.
Right.
And they've lost their quality. So, and that includes guys, like PRS and even some of the stuff that inherently has been really good quality. I used to work for Guitar Center. I was a store manager for Guitar Center for a long time. So
probably where we met.
That's probably where we met.
I was there for many years.
Oh, were you?
Yes.
What years did you work there?
Me and Kevin Baby started together.
Oh, did you really? You know Brian Thorpe?
Of course.
Well, Brian's one of my best friends. So
okay.
Brian, in fact, Brian doesn't work for Guitar Center anymore.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, I helped him. I worked for Home Depot for 22 years. So I left Guitar Center. I went to Home Depot. And anyway, so Brian left Guitar Center. And, of course, he called me and says, can you help me? I want to work for Home Depot. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. So, we got him interviewed, got him to the right people, and now he's a store manager for Home Depot. So
wow.
Yeah, I went straight from GC to Home Depot. So he kind of went backwards. I went from GC to Home Depot. Well, actually, no, we did the same thing. I left Guitar Center and went to Home Depot, and he left Guitar Center and went to Home Depot. So, but I left Home Depot in 2010, and that's about when I started building guitars, my own stuff,
And how far have you gotten? Are you into the hundreds? Are you into the thousands?
We're into the hundreds.
Into the hundreds?
Yeah, we're into the hundreds.
Where are we going to find a product like yours? Are you in stores yet, or are you just selling online?
Mostly online at tuckerguitarcompany.com. I do put some stuff in some local stores, and when I do, I Instagram it out and I Facebook it out to get people in there to look at them. The brick-and-mortar stores of the past have gone. In fact, I'm sure you're familiar with Guitar Trader, right?
Of course, yeah.
That's how I met Tino and Paul initially.
I was there. I was there for many years also.
Yeah, I took my first guitar lesson there when I was like 11, right? From Jeff Bishop. I don't know if you know Jeff Bishop.
Yes, very
right?
much so, yeah.
But to this day, I still take lessons from Jeff Bishop. So does my girlfriend, and so does my daughter. So
wow.
Yeah. Anyway, so in fact, I helped close down Guitar Trader. I don't know if you realize that.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I was there.
Yeah, the owner paid me to go on there, and because of my retail experience with Home Depot, to just do what I had to do and close the place. And I hated doing it because it was a San Diego icon. And
it was a funky, weird vibe when I walked in the door. I thought, oh, you're taking everything down, and like I remember putting the nail in the wall for that or this, and
right.
I mean, I even saw BB just not even a couple weeks ago, and he's doing great and keeping busy, and so yeah, everyone. It's a local community here that we all look out for each other, and we still care about each other, and there's no bad or negative when people move on. You're always happy for them when you see them.
Absolutely.
You just say, hey, right on, good to see you again. How you doing? What do you got going on? And most of my musician friends are still playing music at some small level just for their soul.
Right.
Not everyone's trying to get record deals or tour anymore, But it's great having someone like yourself who found another passion, such as making guitars. A lot of people just kind of let go and say, oh, I'm going to have a family and just focus on Home Depot or whatever, and not really consider the fact that a part of their soul is music. And how do you still do something in the music community if you're playing or making something or recording or however it is? If there's something that you're doing creative, there's something that's for your soul, then it keeps you more passionate. A lot of people I've met, they're dead inside. They're like, dude, I haven't played my guitar in years, or my drums are in a closet now with tarp over.
Right.
You got to play, man.
You got to play. You got to play. And I do play a lot, and I don't play like guys like Paul, or my friend, AC
You
Alexander.
can play. That guy can play. I've seen him play.
Paul can sing a few notes, right? But I do a lot of work for other guys who can play. I don't know, AC Alexander by any chance?
I recognize the name. Yeah.
He played for Warrior and Thin Lizzy. Now,
Yes.
now he's in the country music, and he plays with a band called Scotty
That's
Alexander.
where the money is.
That's where the money is, because that's where rock and roll is living right now, is in country music. So
I'm thinking Tucker Guitar should be.
exactly. So I do work for those. I do work for those guys, and and I play a lot too. But when I build a guitar like this one, for instance, it's not quite 100% done, but I've spent.
He's saying that, but you guys have to see it. Looks amazing, by the way.
I've been playing. I play that thing for hours. I've built 3 different nuts for it. And I didn't like the way it sounded, so I changed it. I didn't like the way it sounded, so I changed it. Now I'm down to elk bone. That nut's made out of elk bone, and so I'm liking the way. What'd you think, Paul? Did you think it sounded okay with that bone nut on it?
Pretty nice.
Yeah.
Did you kill the elk yourself with your bare hands?
No, I purchased that. But my brother's an elk chaser, just so you know.
Nice.
But yeah, so anyway, so I have the time and I have the resources that I can do that. I know that nobody, not a lot of people can do that, or actually are willing to do that.
Sure.
But to me, every one that I make is so personal. Not so personal that I won't sell it. I'll sell it in a second if you want to buy it. But when I say personal, I mean until it's the way I want it, it's not leaving my shop.
Got it.
It's that simple. So I play them, I work on them, I tweak them, I change them until they're what I think is, and unfortunately not everybody thinks the way I think. So I sell them and people say, well, can you change this? And I have to go back and change it. But,
of course.
But when it leaves, at least it's quality, right? I mean, there's nothing in there that has been overlooked. There's nothing in there that's cheap hardware, cheap components, nothing. I use the best, right down to the screws I put in there, all marine grade stainless screws, for instance. I get them from the same store I buy screws for my boat from, right?
Wow.
So everything is top notch. The wire is the best wire you can buy. I don't buy cheap anything. And unfortunately, it doesn't make it cost effective for me, but it does make a quality product. So when I sell that guitar, I sell a package. It comes with a case. It comes with a strap. It comes with strap locks. It comes with picks. It comes with guitar strings. I mean, I sell a complete package. There's no cutting corners.
Now, what kind of pickups are we using?
I actually have Seymour Duncans in this one. These ones are called.
Those are my favorite, by the way.
I agree with you. These ones are called a whole lot of humbuckers. So they are replicas of the ones that Seymour made for Jimmy Page and Pete Townsend and the English guys during the just before the British invasion.
My favorite, obviously, was Ace Frehley. That was his go-to.
Yeah, exactly. And these are basically that. They replicate PAFs. The English ones that were made in England. Seymour Duncan started making those.
What kind of bridge do we got going on?
This is a hip shop bridge. So it's solid brass, chrome plated. Hardened brass with chrome on it, but it's a hardtail. It's not. I do make some tremolo models, but I make more hardtails than anything. And this back plate actually was custom made by a company in Texas. For the string throughs to go through there. This is a battery cabinet because it has onboard effects. This guitar has a built-in chorus.
Wow.
So it has onboard effects. This is the battery for it. You just flip it open and change it. And then, of course, if you notice, the cavity cover is made out of the same wood as the guitar.
Yeah, so it's not a plastic cover on the back. You actually use your cover is a nice, beautiful piece of wood over it.
Yeah, see, this wood is the same. This piece of wood down the center here is mahogany, right? It's actually a 54-year-old piece of mahogany that I had left over from another project. and then this cover is made out of the same wood.
You just tossed it together, just a couple pieces of glue, and
that's it. Yeah, it's pretty simple, right?
big deal.
And then the wings here are flame maple, but one thing unique about this is that it's solid flame maple all the way through. You see the edge of the guitar, you can see the flame all the way through. Now, the big wigs, like Fender or Gibson, would have taken that piece of wood and veneered it and made 30 guitars out of it.
Right.
Right. They had 16-inch veneers. They'd laminate that on a piece of mahogany or maple.
Sure.
And then they would have finished it. Of course, they look beautiful, but that's one of the primary reasons you see them using binding right around the edge of the body. They use the binding to hide the edge where the veneer is, right? And it does look kind of cool. Adds a nice, like when you were a kid and you colored and you
different dimensions.
Yeah, the kids that outlined the coloring in black really looked cool, right?
Totally.
Right, totally. So that's kind of why they do it. But the main reason they do it is to hide the edge of the laminate. So in my case, I just use solid wood. I don't laminate anything.
Beautiful.
I do laminate vertically, right? But not horizontally. Does that make sense?
Oh, for sure.
Or vice versa, horizontally, not vertically. So.
And also something I want to comment on is the fact that you're going through the body with the strings. It's been a night and day for me. I have two of the exact same basses, but one is the highest quality Fender everything, and it was the guy from the Goo Goo Dolls, and he just every aspect, every tuning knob, everything has just been absolutely the best quality Fender made. But it goes through the body with the strings, and I thought, this is interesting, and it's completely different sound. The tone is way longer. It's absolutely amazing. So I didn't realize how important that is. We're going to be going to a commercial here in a couple seconds,
okay.
So really look forward to talking more about this guitar, and you brought a few more with you. So, we look forward to getting back into it and here in just a couple of minutes. So thanks, everyone, for listening in. You're listening to Music Gear Talk here on EnterTalk Radio. We wanted to thank our sponsors, SIR and Pitbull Audio. Talk to you soon.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Thank you for listening to WS Radio. Improve your business and your life with useful information from experts and thought leaders. WS Radio is radio with ROI.
You may have heard me brag about Progressive Medical Center and just how much they've helped me with my health. And Dr. Goley, one thing that you've helped so many people with is migraines.
Unfortunately, there are millions and millions of Americans who are suffering with migraines and headaches, and they're debilitating because it affects the quality of their life, and they cannot function properly. At Progressive, we get to the root cause because we understand that migraines could be caused by nutritional deficiencies, hormonal imbalances, believe it or not, delayed food sensitivities. And once we determine what the real reason is, we put a plan of action together with medication that we get them off slowly, and we put them on an all-natural approach, and the results are amazing.
Incredible. I mean, there's so many people that can say they don't live their lives with migraines anymore thanks to Progressive Medical Center.
And that's what's exciting and rewarding to us as physicians because we help our patients take control of their health, and that's why they're living well.
Why don't you get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today? Don't live in pain. Don't have migraines anymore. Just go to their website, progressivemedicalcenter.com.
This is your life. Live it well.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. VinVillage connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. VinVillage is where wine lovers connect. Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.
Welcome to Music Gear Talk. Discover the music tech that powers the biz with your host, Rodney Elliott.
Hey everyone, this is Rodney Elliott with Music Gear Talk. We're super excited to talk a little bit more with Dan Tucker with Tucker Guitars. Want to also thank Pitbull Audio and SIR for their sponsorship. So yeah, Dan, we were just talking a little bit more about the way you go through the body with the strings. Is that every single guitar that you make, or is that just a specific one for this guitar? I mean, is every guitar different?
All my hardtails I go through the body with.
Nice.
I don't always use that plate that you saw there. That plate that was custom made by the shop in Texas. That was actually made to hide a foobar I made on the guitar. You know, because I hand do
It was
a lot
on
of,
purpose. He's just saying.
Because I hand do a lot of things, and I
Sure.
slip with the router, and I kind of had a little issue there. So I had that plate specially made to cover it. And the result was now I have a lot of mass there, and it actually sounds pretty cool,
Yeah.
right? But generally speaking, I just use string ferrules, and the strings go through the body. I do agree that it adds to the sustain. I think it does help.
I had
capture.
no idea how much though.
Yeah,
I literally A/B'd them. I bought one in case I break a string, and I'll just like jump on the other one. I was like, well, it's like flat and dead and thin, and I had the exact same strings, exact same everything. The pickup is totally different. The bridge is totally different. Going through the body is totally different. Tuning pegs, the neck has a totally different size neck. It gets thinner and it's thicker in certain areas. And I was like, it's exact same bass from the exact same company, but
Different
the quality
sound.
completely changes when you have an artist who has specs that they want it for. And I didn't even know Fender made so many different versions of the same product. So it was interesting. And getting back to yours, so do you have specific woods that you're using, or are you completely open to someone saying, "Oh, I'm looking for this, type of wood," and you'll go get it for them? I mean, how does someone order a guitar, and how would they reach you to say, "Oh, I'm looking for this. Can you make it for me?"
I can make bodies pretty much out of any type of wood somebody wants. That's not a problem. Necks, I generally have pre-made. I have right now, I think I have 13 or 14 that you can choose from that are pre-made, ready to go,
Love it.
already fretted. So, and those vary from flame maple to I even have rosewood, solid rosewood necks. I
Wow.
have a couple out of mahogany. The fretboards vary from maple to ebony to Indian rosewood, that kind of thing. So
Sure.
I've got several choices, and they can just choose what they want as far as the neck goes. And the body, I can make anything. And that's no problem because I can get the wood. All my bodies are cut with a CNC machine. So the design is done. That design that you see is an original design. It's done. It's programmed, and all I do is put the blank in there and hit the button, and it does its work for me. So
Nice.
it's pretty cool.
Now, is there certain woods that are really hard to get, or that they're dying in the jungle that you're not allowed to be touching anymore? And I mean, is there like certain woods that people are scared of making guitars out of because they're...
Well, I don't know if you heard about that issue Gibson had a few years ago with some of their old mahogany, right, that they've had. There's some woods that are on the list. The government says you can't buy or sell or use anymore. So I stay away from those. But if someone obtains some wood,
Yeah,
and as long as the
you're not
blank,
purchasing it on the black market. Yeah, exactly.
As long as the blank is 16 by 20, it'll work.
Done.
Right? So we can do whatever they want with it. So customers even bring me their own wood.
Now, this is funny that you work at Home Depot. Would there ever be a product at Home Depot that you would be purchasing for your guitars, or is Home Depot more for homes? Is there something at Home Depot you literally could buy and do something with?
Well, actually, there's a couple of local Home Depots that sell mahogany, and I've bought their blanks and used them for making necks.
Wow.
So and I bought maple from them before for using necks.
I just envision their huge pallets full of really thin wood that people are buying for their homes or whatnot. And
I don't use that stuff.
You never think, that's what I don't.
I do use it for jigging. I buy the MDF and plywood, and I make jigs out of it. And jigs are very important in woodworking.
Sure.
When I put the blank under the CNC machine to be held down, I use wood made out of jigs to hold it in a specific spot, so the computer can get an orientation, and then I can go from there. So I do buy stuff at Home Depot, and I don't buy their screws and stuff like that because I get all marine grade stuff. But Yeah, I go there all the time, and I'm always needing something that pertains to my. I buy tools from them. I bought my sander from them. I bought my drill press from them. I bought my table saw. So
Nice.
and I'm a loyal Home Depot guy. I spent 22 years there. I still own stock in the company.
Nice.
I do what I can.
So getting back to guitars, what kind of tuning pegs do you have? Is there certain brands that you like, or do you have a couple different ones that you like?
Just one.
Just one. And what one was that?
I use Hipshot.
Okay.
They had the 18-to-1 gear ratio. I like the open back tuners. I mean, as you can see here, I like the open back locking tuners.
Yes, love it.
So they look really cool. As far as the tuning buttons, they make probably 30 different types.
Versions,
and,
yeah,
and so,
to each guitar.
Yeah, so sometimes I get them to match. Like some of my maple necks have ebony dot inlays instead of like these are metal, and so I might get ebony, to kind of tie those colors in. And I do have folks that help me with that type of stuff because I'm a little bit colorblind. So, I'm probably not the best color coordinator.
He's saying this, but his guitar is beautiful, so you guys have to see this.
I am pretty picky.
It's just not the color that he thinks it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, exactly. Paul hit the nail right on the head there. That's exactly how it works.
Now body shapes, where did you get the concept and how did you go in that direction for this? Which, to me, kind of, it's its own body shape, but it's similar to a couple, it's like a mesh of a couple different other versions of guitars. So where would we find the concept for that?
That's actually a really good question. How it came about is I actually wanted something that was different yet familiar. You know what I mean? I don't.
That's the way I would describe your guitar.
Yeah, different but familiar. I wanted it to be familiar enough that people go, oh, but not so different that they
like,
kind of stand off us, right?
Yeah.
So basically, what it is I make two models. Okay, this is what you call double cut. Okay, and my single cut comes straight across like this, so it's only cut on the bottom.
Okay.
And a lot of people say it kind of resembles a Telecaster a little bit because of the single cut here. And this is a double cut. Other than that, it's just two ovals. So I drew an oval here, and I drew an oval here in the computer, and I connected those ovals, and then I cut my body out of it. And I cut probably, I wouldn't be able to estimate the number, but let me tell you what, my fire pit in the backyard, I've never ran out of firewood, okay? Because I cut many that I didn't like, and we burned them. I didn't like this one, we burned them, And so I ended up on this particular body just through trial and error. How does it fit in your lap, for instance? Because a lot of guys sit down and practice, right? I know I practice like this. How does it hang? Is it balanced when it hangs, or is it top heavy, or is it bottom heavy?
Yes,
so those things,
that's very important.
Those things come into play, and then of course I like the contours. These contours are hand cut with a skill saw. If you saw me cut them, you'd probably think I was crazy. You'd probably think I was going to cut my leg off or something. The way I do it, I clamp the body down, and I take a skill saw, a regular old worm drive skill saw used for construction, and I just kind of go and cut. That's how I cut these contours like that, both sides.
Wow.
So I'm sure there's a more sophisticated way to do it, and I'll move to that when I get into serious production. But right now, these guitars are all handmade, and when I say they're handmade, I mean they're literally handmade. There's no, I'm not buying anything except for hardware, and that's it.
And so, what are we talking on the actual knobs?
Well, this particular guitar has a built-in chorus.
Wow.
The last one I brought, I think Paul had a delay in it, right? Yeah, and so you got your basic volume knob here, right? Pretty simple. Here is your tone knob, but if you pull it, it also turns on the effect, right? And so here's your effects. This got a double knob here. You're familiar with this because you play bass, right?
Sure.
So the outer knob is the depth, and the inner knob is the frequency. So you can control your chords. You can go all the way from a full-on rotary sounding all the way to a very slow, just a very subtle chorus.
Wow.
And then this is their coil tapping switch, so it makes some single coils from double coils, and this is your pickup selector. Just a bridge middle neck, pretty simple. And that's electronics. On the back, you can see this compartment's for the battery. That's for the supply power for the effect.
Love it.
And underneath here, there's a circuit board under here that has a couple controls on it too. So if a customer, for instance, wants to hear a higher mix of the delay versus the non-process signal, they can turn it up or down a little bit. They can also vary the tone a little bit. So,
oh wow.
Generally, it's best when you're playing clean because it is a preamp or you never want your effect before your distortion because it sounds kind of funky, right?
Right.
So when he was testing it through the Mesa Boogie there a little bit ago, it sounds great clean, but it's generally not something you're going to play too much with distortion. You'll get those effects post preamp if you're going to do that, right? But it's very cool if you're going to play with your friend, and you don't want to take nothing. You got a little effect at least, right? What I really like about the delay is the delay one gives you almost you can get down to like a slapback reverb. And so the delay effect I really like because then if you're playing with an amp that has no delay, like I have a little Fender 40-watt tube amp that I like. It's very light, so I carry it around with me, but it has no effects. But when I have my other guitar that has a delay in there, I can turn it up and just get a little reverb, and it sounds really cool.
Wow!
So
I like the battery option. A lot of them you have to pull out your screwdriver, and it's like, oh, I'm in the middle of a show, and I'm just trying to you can grab it and go and finish the song, and no one knows the difference. So
yeah, I actually just made a template. It took me a little while, so I made like a template out of acrylic sheets, real thick acrylic sheets. And now it's real easy for me. I just double side tape my template on here, cut that cavity out literally in 3 minutes. It drops down flush as you can see, and it's a nice clean installation.
Beautiful.
And I can put it anywhere. I can really, as long as there's wood, I can put it anywhere on the body. So.
And having your neck instead of having. You like the bolt-on compared to having the full body neck? Like, was that choice or was that just different sound?
It was choice initially because I'm a big Fender fan, right? I have several Gibson guitars and I love the way they sound. And those are
except when the neck breaks.
Exactly, and those are kind of the two. Those are kind of the two standard in the industry. So I'm just using this as an example.
Yeah, sure.
Right? But I have neck through Jacksons that sound great. I have PRSs, which are set in necks, which are glued in.
Yeah.
Right. So I did this just because that's my favorite guitar. A bolt-on Fender. But in the future, to answer your question, I am going to go to a neck through. All my guitars will be neck throughs in the future.
Interesting.
Because I think they sound better. I like the sustain you get at them, like the resonance you get at them. Sure. I just be honest with you, I have not taught myself how to make them yet.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's the version 2.0.
Right.
So we're going to go to another commercial here in a couple seconds, and then we're also going to talk again about how we're going to be able to find your guitars and move on with that. So yeah, wanted to thank you so much again for being on our show. Wanted to thank SIR and Pitbull Audio, and we look forward to talking to you again in a few minutes.
Sounds great.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Hey
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Welcome to Music Gear Talk. Discover the music tech that powers the biz with your host, Rodney Elliott.
Hey, welcome back. This is Rodney with Music Gear Talk on WS Radio. I want to thank SIR and Pitbull Audio. Super excited here to talk more to Dan Tucker with Tucker Guitars. So, yeah, one of the questions I was curious, have you ever considered doing sparkle or any of the kind of crazy colors? Or are you more going after the vintage woods? And, you know, is that just the style that you like or the sounds, or you're open to suggestions with your clients as they come?
Yeah, I'm open to any colors. I'm actually working on a gold sparkle right now. It's funny that you bring that up because I actually have one in the paint booth right now that it's very subtle. The metal's not real thick on it, like some of those surf guitars you see nowadays. But it's definitely, when you see that thing in the light, it just kind of glows at you. So yeah, I'm working on that. And I'm willing, I can do any color. We use automotive finishes we get from TCB Global, which is right down the street over here.
Love it.
And so it's all, it's all here in San Diego. And the manager of TCB Global is a high school friend of mine. So, he makes custom colors for me. He does anything I ask him to do. So it's great because we have complete freedom.
And is there anyone that's using your guitars right now that we might see playing out or touring, or is there anyone that's interested in them that you've been talking to?
I have gotten some calls from some people. For instance, Gene Simmons' agent called me and was interested.
Nice.
So I didn't tell him I don't make basses because I'll figure it out, right?
Yeah, just figure it out.
Just figure it out. And Scotty Alexander and AC Alexander, some country guys, I work with them all the time.
I see your product doing really well in the country market. I don't know why. There's like a feel to the way they look.
Yeah, I agree. And wasn't my intent.
If something happens, like when you intend it, that's why it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
When something organically happens, you don't have any control.
And I'll go any path it takes me. And as far as the finishes go, I love wood.
Yeah.
Right. Like a lot of my guitars have where you can see the texture of the wood, even though they may be colored on top. This is actually painted with what they call a candy finish. So it's a translucent finish that, as you layer it, it gets darker. So it looks like it has a sunburst right around the edges.
Mm-hmm. It's almost a tobacco burst.
Yeah, exactly. The color is called Mayan Gold, and what happens is the only difference between what you see here and what you see here is the number of layers, right? So my paint guy, his name is Brian Moore. Brian will paint the whole thing to where he likes it. Then he'll slowly start layering these edges to get them darker. And it's just a matter of coats and there's no real, 15 passes makes it look like this, right? It all depends on how he feels that day, right? He's also a local guy that I went to high school with.
Wow.
His name's Brian Moore. He has a company called Hard Rock Finishes here in San Diego, and he finishes instruments. But he does all my guitars for me. He also does working with Electrophonics, a company I just told you about, on Breakia. He's doing their finishes as well. So he did that gold finish you saw on that guitar right now.
Beautiful. So yeah, if we want, why don't we have Paul play a couple notes for us and hear how the guitar sounds and get a couple little licks in. And
I have to tell you, Paul can make a Kmart guitar sound good. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Too kind.
But this definitely, you're not going to find this there.
If I could play like this dude, I'd be playing all day.
Right? We would be on the radio. We'd be on tour right now.
That's what I'm saying. what I mean?
Wow.
Nice.
Very, very cool.
See if you can show that chorus off a little bit. So all you do is hit a little button
on the guitar.
On the guitar, right. So that's coming from the guitar right there.
I've never seen that before.
It's a slam dunk, man. I mean, I put them in there. Any guitar I can fit them in, I put them in, because even if the customer turns it off, the other attraction to this is that it offers a buffered circuit, right? Because I'm using the circuit board for the effect, everything runs through it. So all my pickups attached to it, now they're buffered. So they're clean like an active pickup system, but they're not really active pickups. You don't get that. In my opinion, it's my personal opinion, the lifeless sound of like an EMG. Well, EMGs have their use in the industry because they're very clean. You can hear every little scratch, every little note. I can't play EMG because I suck, and so when I hit the string funny, you can hear everything, right? But with this, you get a buffered system that's not quite as precise as an EMG pickup. So,
I like the option of not plugging in pedals with cables.
Right.
And that cable can go bad or that pedal can die. This is on your guitar. It's just a part of your guitar.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Next time I come in, I'll bring one with delay so you can hear it.
Love it.
Because the delay is really cool. Last time the guys you guys liked it. Tino and Paul really liked the delay.
Very cool.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
He'll be here all week.
He'll be here you got a sleeping bag here.
Oh, that's funny.
So where are we going from here? What kind of what's the next version that you're excited about? Where body, style, tone, sound? Are you sticking to like just a couple of the same, or you have a new version coming out that you're excited about?
The body styles are staying the same.
Okay.
So their overall shape is done.
Love it.
But what I am working on is there's a company out there called Super V. They make tremolos. Have you ever heard of them?
They're out
of Colorado, and I know the owner pretty well. Him and I have spent many phone calls talking about stuff. And they actually make a locking tremolo system. I'm a big fan of Floyd Rose, okay? I like them, and I use them on a lot of my bodies. They're a little temperamental. They're hard to intonate. There's some things about them I don't like. But once they're dialed in, they're badass, right? I like them. So this company, they make a tremolo that it's actually designed to replace an American Standard. So if you have an American Standard Strat, you unbolt it. This one bolts right on to where your studs go, and they have a nut and so now you have a locking system, but it doesn't require all the routing out of your body that a Floyd Rose does. So I actually have two guitars, both of them my standard body, single cuts, not doubles like this, and those tremolos are going on them. So that I'm doing some R&D and seeing how they work. If they work good, then I'm going to use them, because from a finish standpoint, it's easier for me to finish, a non-routed cavity, not have to do a bunch of work afterward. You slip with the tool, you scratch it, you're rebuffing, you're refinishing, right? It's a little bit easier because all you do is install the studs ahead of time. We do the finish, and then the tremolo goes right on top of it. Easy. And I am using Floyd nuts on those versions, German-made Floyd nuts, or either that or I may use the Kahler. The Kahler nuts are, they're still made in Germany, and they're really nice too. Yes. Just because they have a different radius, I want to go with a 12-inch radius. So that's kind of the changes that are coming. That guitar he was playing is a 10-inch radius neck. Did you like the 10-inch?
Oh yeah.
I prefer a 12 myself, a little bit flatter. So I'm moving them to a 12-inch radius, and maybe even a 14-inch radius. Now my Jackson's a 16-inch radius. That's probably my favorite neck is a 16-inch radius, but I'm not sure if everybody likes that. So I'm going to switch to a 12-inch radius neck. So I need the nuts at a 12-inch radius. Believe it or not, Floyd doesn't make any. They're all 10-inch radius, and which I don't get why they do that, because most necks are not 10-inch radius, right? I mean, the Fenders are 9.5, right, are 10. You know, they're just not 10s. Most of the guitars, those are going on 12-inch radius necks. So that's kind of the new thing that I'm working on right now is 2 of those guitars coming out with those Super V. They got fine tuners on them, locking trims, everything. They're not routed out, so you get more mass wood on the guitar, but they're supposed to stay in tune just as good. And I've experimented with them, and they do. So
Nice.
so you can drop those strings all the way down, do your Eddie Van Halen. You can, but another thing about it is it looks more traditional. Some people don't like the look of a Floyd Rose. I do. I love it. But some guys don't because there's just a lot of screws and wood and mass and all that. These tremolos look very much like the old Fender tremolo, right? They're more traditional looking, but they operate like a Floyd Rose. So
wow.
And he's got Super V. They got a patent on their blade system, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of the new thing I'm working on right now.
Nice. Have you had anyone ask for the routed out on the neck, like the Ingve type style?
Oh, scalping, they call it.
Yeah.
I haven't had anybody ask for that. I actually, instead of scalping, I put jumbo frets on, like Dunlop 6,000 frets. I don't know if you ever seen them, but they're tall.
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
So if you put those frets on, you get a scallop fill, but you're not limited to.
It just felt like playing a sitar to me. It just didn't. I don't know why. I mean, then again, I'm never a shredder. I'm more rhythm guitar guy,
right,
so.
Right.
I was like, "What? You got it just felt like you're never even touching wood because you're always in this like weird
you're not.
string,
You're in the air, right? So
just weird feel, and of course, it sounded strange. But everyone's different. Everyone has their own style that they like. Everyone has specifics that are for whatever their tone and sound are. So it sounds like you can pretty much do anything within those realms.
Sure,
I mean,
yeah, sure.
If I were to compare a look, the look to me has its own unique qualities and style about it, but a PRS in yours could be compared to because of just the body cut and the way it's set. But I think yours seemed a lot thicker to me. I don't know if it was just like the wood or how you cut it, but it seems like a little thicker and heavier and a little beefier maybe.
It is. The Paul Reed Smiths, their body's a little bit thinner.
They seemed a little thinner.
And I have the utmost respect for Paul Reed Smith and his guitars. I own 2 of them, and I love them. I play them. Before I started making my guitars, I thought that was probably the best you could get was a good quality PRS. So
you got it. We're going to go to another commercial here. Wanted to thank Dan from Tucker Guitars. And wanted to thank SIR and Pitbull Audio. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
On the internet, your business's reputation can be unjustly destroyed in an instant. Don't wait for that to happen. Building and marketing your 5-star reputation can increase your business by as much as 19%. Take control of your reputation and have the 5-star reputation you deserve with Reputation Marketing Solutions by DSI Development. Become the go-to company by visiting 5starrepmarketing.com. The number 5starrepmarketing.com.
I raised $8,000 to build schools for South African children.
After realizing how many people go hungry in San Diego, I now volunteer at a food pantry.
I'm spending the next year doing volunteer projects across 3 countries and helping in ways they designate to be the most helpful.
The World Link program at the Joan B. Kroc Institute for Peace and Justice recognizes the potential of youth as agents of social change. Learn how you can help youth become a generation of leaders in action at peace-world.org. progressive.sandiego.edu.
You've heard me bragging about Progressive Medical Center and how they've helped me feel so much healthier. But one thing, Dr. Agoli, that a lot of people come to you with is just unexplained pain. They just can't get any relief. Why can Progressive Medical Center's Pain Management Center help them?
First of all, we have to acknowledge that pain is for real, and you've got acute pain and chronic pain. Here's the problem. That acute pain turns to chronic, which is long-standing, and no one's getting to the root cause. There's several key diagnostic components that help us get to the root of what's causing this pain. Is it inflammation? Once we do a thorough evaluation to get to the root cause, determine if it's structural or if it's a metabolic issue. And this way, we put an individualized program for pain management involving correcting the spine, using certain injections when necessary, and we get our patients out of pain quicker, and they stay out of pain because we teach them how to live their life well.
Don't let yourself live in pain any longer. Get a hold of Progressive Medical Center today at progressivemedicalcenter.com.
Progressive Medical, this is your life, live it well.
Welcome to Music Gear Talk. Discover the music tech that powers the biz with your host, Rodney Elliott.
Hey everyone, this is Rodney out with Music Gear Talk on WS Radio and EnterTalk Radio. We wanted to thank Pitbull Audio and SIR. We are here with Dan Tucker of Tucker Guitars. We were really curious to just kind of know where your store is located. Is there a way we can actually like come in or meet and see what kind of wood you have and make guitars, or is it all online? And where are we going to find you online again?
Everything's online.
Okay.
So the website is www.tuckerguitarcompany.com. All one word, pretty simple, tuckerguitarcompany.com. If you want to see one of my guitars, just send me an email through my website, and I will schedule an appointment with you. I'll bring it to you, or you can come to me. It's up to you. I will have a couple hanging in local guitar stores here in the next couple months. So as soon as that's confirmed, I will put that on the website as well, so you can go there and look, hit new info, and it'll pop up. And I'll also blast it out to Facebook and Instagram. So there's a couple stores in town that I'm going to hang them in. So. And
what about artist relations? Who would we be looking after in your artist relations department?
That would go directly to me.
And so moving forward, where do you see yourself fitting in this whole guitar world with the tens of thousands of guitar manufacturers and companies and all the booths for miles at NAMM? And were you at NAMM too?
Yeah, I didn't have a booth at NAMM, but I've been at NAMM every year for the last 5 years. You're right about that. There's a lot of good stuff out there. When I go to NAMM and I walk around, I just see, so much product and so much good product. You know?
Especially when you're an owner of a company, you're like,
right.
Oh, they're really making something good right here too.
Yeah.
But mine's better,
Well, a lot of it's gimmick based. That's one thing, or I shouldn't say gimmick, more like novelty based. Right?
Sure.
And people are surviving off, traditional views of what a guitar should look like and sound like based on Fender and Gibson. Really, I mean that's really what's going on.
Yeah.
I saw.
Which is Paul Reed Smith. They say, it plays like a Fender, but sounds like a Gibson.
Yeah, exactly.
Which then, of course, the guy from Muse, he has those $8,000 guitars that he has made, and I mean, it's just everyone always goes after those things, but at some point, how about getting just an original sound of a guitar that no one's ever heard, and or getting an amp or a pedal that no one's heard and making something original, or playing a song that no one's heard. And so a lot of people are even making weird chords, and now, let's add a 7-string, an 8-string, and you're like, at some point, where do you just see a really kick-ass classic guitar like yours fitting in with that world, and how do you see being able to go in your own direction?
I think you just said it for me.
Right.
What I was going to say is what I can offer and will continue to offer is a classic design, right, made to the utmost quality standards, and every one of them is a piece of artwork, in my opinion. And
You have to see they're beautiful.
I appreciate that. And every one of them is uniquely different. I mean, I haven't made one. Have you ever seen one exactly the same yet, Paul? Yeah, they're all different. So I'm going to keep doing that. And what I can offer everybody is personalized service, okay? And I warranty my guitars for life. And I don't just mean to the original purchaser. You give it to your dad. You sell it to your uncle. I don't care who's got it. If someone brings me one of my guitars 20 years down the road,
it says Tucker on it.
It will be served. It has my logo on it. It will be serviced.
Which is also your name. So.
Right, exactly. It'll be serviced for life, right? It's that simple.
Wow.
So I'm going to continue, and I'm not going to change that. I come from a culture, starting with Guitar Center, like we talked about on break here, and Home Depot as well, of providing 100% satisfaction guaranteed. And that's it. It's that simple. So normal wear and tear, obviously, that's a separate issue. But defects in material and workmanship, or problems with setups and adjusting, I don't charge for that kind of stuff.
Wow.
You bring me the guitar and we'll get it right until you're happy, and that's the end of it. So you won't get that anywhere. You won't get that from anybody that I know of. So, that's how I plan on setting myself apart. Are we going to grow? We have to grow. Right now, I'm turning down jobs every day. Okay, I get calls literally. I was on a 2,800-mile pilgrimage with my brother the last couple weeks. We in his bus, traveling, pulling his whole rig with his Hummer, fishing, camping, wherever we wanted to. We went through Canada and Washington and Oregon and Northern California. I didn't know what day it was.
Sounds like my last tour, basically.
Exactly. I didn't know what time it was or what time of day it was. Right, I'm just cruising with my older brother, and we're just having a blast. He's a guitar player as well.
Love it.
And we're looking up mom and pop shops along the way just to see what's out there, because we love looking at gear and stuff. And I can see myself someday doing a road tour, having my bus packed with several guitars and just trying to bring business to mom and pop shops that have really had a hard time of late, right?
And they appreciate companies like yours.
Exactly.
I've worked at several, and it was the guitar companies that cared, that would come in, that would do demonstrations, that would let us actually try a bunch of guitars. A lot of the guitar companies, they show up in a box, you just put them on the shelf there and touch them, play them. Having quality and having that little extra bit of detail definitely is going to help you stay above everybody else. And Paul, what do you think? Give me an opinion on how it played, how it felt. Give me a little insight.
Very, very playable. Very easy to play. Musical. I was telling Dan earlier, especially with distortion, like the crunching. When you got two strings bending, it just crunches so nice, and just everything is very precise and playable.
And the weight. How was the weight and the way it felt and just not being top heavy or bottom heavy,
felt great. All those guitars do, and Dan also, we hung out at a shop a bunch of times. He first of all, every time I go there, it's like a college education. I love it, like all this stuff that I.
That's why I was excited having on the show. I just learned a bunch of stuff today.
Never knew about guitars like that I get now. And he's modded a bunch of my guitars. The other thing that he's really great at is taking a cheap $200-$300 Mexican or Chinese guitar and making it sound like a $3,000 PRS with a few a couple of parts you add to just upgrade some equipment. He is awesome at setting them up, doing the intonation and action and all of that. I had a couple of fairly cheap guitars that now play amazing.
Wow! All right, and price-wise, where are we at price-wise?
For the one you're looking at there, it's about $2,300.
That's very, very doable.
Yeah, I have them. That's probably a good starting point. The least expensive one I've ever made is about $1,800. And they go up from there. So the semi-hollow bodies.
That's a real guitar.
That's a real guitar. Yeah.
You're not buying anything less than even $1,000 nowadays. You're like, it's all right. I remember going to a store and spending $800 on a guitar, thinking that was like the world.
I remember I did that too.
Yeah, and now you're like, $2,500 is like average to okay, getting up there and somewhat nice. But yeah, and is there certain qualities and certain aspects of the guitar that you're going to go into the $3,000 and $4,000 with people are going to just ask for insane crazy stuff that.
Yeah, I've had people ask for some. Usually, it's the wood is what's expensive.
Right.
The wood's expensive. So, for instance, I bought a bird's eye maple blank and a fretboard. So the back of the neck will be bird's eye maple, but also the fretboard, right? Highly figured bird's eye maple, and that would probably cost me 5 times what the normal neck wood would have cost me. So
sure,
so that and then of course if you mess it up, then you're buying another one. Right, because you get a contract, you got to fulfill your contract. So
they don't care about what you messed up. They
right.
just want their guitar, and also now they're wondering why it's taking long.
That's right, and that happens. So to be honest with you, I never build one of anything.
Oh,
so if a customer orders a guitar, I build 2. I cut 2, I finish 2, I build 2, because if something happens, number one, I want a backup, and then I end up having another one I can sell. So I have another one of these almost exactly like that right now sitting on my bench. And I also have one coming out. I have a beautiful guitar coming out that I think you guys should see. It's a zebra wood on top. It's a 2-inch thick body. Right, it's really thick, and it's semi-hollow body.
I'm a big dude, so I need a big guitar.
Right.
I can't do these little
this will feel substantial on you, right? It's semi-hollow body, so it has those ovals like you remember seeing before, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
You can see them on my website too. There's a picture of a semi-hollow body on there. What's cool about it though is it's going to have 3 pickups. It's going to have 2 humbuckers and a single coil in the middle, and it's going to be wired special, so you can get several different configurations. You get a classic Strat configuration, you get a classic double humbucker configuration, all selectable with the switching. And it's going to have it's designed to fit a standard pick guard, like a Strat style pick guard, but it's not a Strat. It's my body shape. It's a single cut, doesn't have the double cut. It's going to be a badass looking guitar. I mean, hands down, you got to see this thing.
Well, we're really, really lucky to have someone like yourself here on our show. We're looking forward to also having you back with your other company that you're partnering up with.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd like to bring back Brian Moore, Rock Hard Finishes, and Joe Floyd from Electrophonics.
Looking forward to it. Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Take a break from politics. Tune in and learn something. WS Radio shows are worth your time and are filled with tips and advice. Add us to your lunch routine, and we'll give you a meal for your mind.
Hey guys, CS Keys here to introduce you to San Diego's #1 health meal prep provider, Fresh and Fit Meals. With over 40 menu items to choose from, several pickup locations all over America's finest city, made and delivered fresh, never frozen. Save on time and money. Super convenient and improves the quality of your life. Just visit the website, freshandfitmeals.com, for all the menus and the pricing. Or give them a call at 858-805-5949 for more details. Remember, you are what you eat, so you might as well be fresh and fit with Fresh and Fit Meals.
Do you want to be a professional coach? Are you in business trying to make a real difference with people you manage or work with? Have you started a coaching practice that isn't quite getting off the ground? Get the skills you need to be a successful coach today with the Coaches Training Program from Accomplishment Coaching. The Coaches Training Program will show you how to help others focus and be more fulfilled. Whether you want to improve your company's bottom line or create a thriving coaching practice, Accomplishment Coaching can give you the distinctions and practices you need to coach others effectively today. Accomplishment Coaching has spent 6 years developing a cutting-edge coaches training program that will have you ready to coach people professionally in just 12 months, and you don't have to take time off work to do it. To find out more about the Coaches Training Program, just call 1-888-548-6813. That's 1-888-548-6813.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, VinVillage.com, where wine lovers connect. Be sure to tune in weekly to Vin Village Radio for exclusive, in-depth interviews with the who's who in wine and food.